everybody. Welcome back to Over the Cauldron podcast. I'm Cordelia Blackwood.
And I'm Minerva Crowhurst.
And today we are going to take a deep dive into the waters of northern Georgia. Well, not really, because today we are talking about Lake Lanier. The reputation is so dark, with local whispers about curses and ghosts and entire towns swallowed by the water. Now, on the surface, Lake Lanier looks like any other recreational lake. People go boating there, they fish, families rent lake houses for the summer, which is wild in itself because of said reputation.
Because why would you continue to do that? Like, that's crazy to me. That's so crazy.
Right, but beneath those calm waters lies something far more unsettling, because I don't know if you know this, but Lake Lanier was never supposed to exist.
And that's, like, so crazy to even think about. Like, because you hear about some, but it's just also, like, that's crazy to, like, haunted waters are never man-made waters. You know what I mean?
Never, ever. Yeah. But Lake Lanier in northern Georgia has developed quite a reputation as one of the most haunted and cursed lakes in the U.S. The eerie lore comes from a mix of real history, tragic accidents, and ghost stories that have built up since the lake was created in the 1950s. So this lake is literally as old as our parents.
Well, it's older than my parents.
Oh, well, my mom was 53.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
mine was in the 60s. Yeah.
So, yeah, let's unpack where the spooky reputation comes from. So, Lake Lanier was, like I said, wasn't supposed to exist naturally. It was created when the Bunford Dam was built by the United States Army Corps of Engineers in the 1950s. Yeah, to make the reservoir, the government flooded an entire community, farmland, forest, and cemeteries. One of the most talked about places was Oscarville, a historically black town that already suffered a violent racial explosion in 1912. Yeah. Yep.
And their cemetery.
Yep. And the lake was filled with homes, churches, roads, bridges, graves.
Of course.
All of it was left underwater. Even today, during severe droughts, old building foundations and the road beds sometimes reappear, reinforcing the sunken town mystique. Yeah. But the lake has an unusually high number of deaths on top of that, which is where the ghost stories come in. Another major reason for the lake's creepy reputation is the number of accidental deaths and drownings since the lake opened in 1956. So my mom's older than this lake. Yeah, 700 plus deaths have occurred. Boating accidents, drownings. Many victims were never recovered. Like, they were never freaking seen again.
Oh my god.
I could not imagine.
No, thank you. No, thank
you. And the submerged structures and trees that made the lake dangerous on top of that.
Oh my, yeah, because everything down there, you can't even see it. So
right, yeah, it's just like a big ass tree, just like right there.
It's like almost like Atlantis.
Yeah. Some locals even say the underwater debris creates the currents and entanglement hazards, but the folklore turns these tragedies into supernatural stories.
That's crazy.
You know?
Yep. Are you talking about the Lady of the Lake?
I am.
Yeah. So of course there's always a Lady of the Lake somewhere. So there's King Arthur's Lady of the Lake. Somewhere else is a Lady of the Lake. But for this one, in 1958, so 2 years after this lake was made, these two young women were driving late at night near the lake. And they pretty much lost control, and they crashed off the bridge into the water below. Only one body was recovered. The other lady, basically, she was never found again, which is insane. And basically, for a decade, she was not even found. So she was just down there since 1956, pretty much until the 1990s, when some divers discovered the car submerged at the bottom, like kind of like that stuff I see on TV, like I should say on TV, on like Facebook and stuff. Those guys that like go for looking for missing people.
Oh,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
And they basically inside the car was the remains of her. And eventually, she was identified. They just found a skeleton, but then eventually she was identified. But basically, long before that even occurred, there was like locals were always talking about this strange story because drivers would claim late at night that near the bridge where this accident had occurred, basically there was a woman in a pale blue dress alongside the road. And I'm like, looking lost, looking disoriented. And sometimes she asks people for rides. And then when she just disappears, and she just vanishes, but it's like near the water. So it's pretty much known. That's how she became known as Lady of the Lake, because she just disappears, like right there.
Oh my gosh!
I know, and it's funny because of course they're skeptics, because why would there not be?
Yeah, of course.
Which is fine. Which is healthy to be a skeptic. And then it just says that it's pretty much fueled by tragedy and imagination, which I can to a degree believe that. But if you're actually seeing something, but in like you combine a flooded town, a violent past, pretty much hundreds of deaths, and a dark lake full of submerged buildings, I mean, you can understand. Like that's why there's all these stories and stuff like that. But it's also just echoing history through the water. Or, some places just remember what happened there, and I fully believe that.
Oh, yeah.
Like they hold, like that's like why some buildings can be haunted, that they call that like a residual haunting. Like they just hold that image in that memory.
And that energy.
And that's why that girl always shows up as a repeating, like asking for them doing the same thing. And so some spirits don't like being drowned. Basically, they don't at all. And which is not, it is what it is. And then there's another ghost story. It just talks about like the cursed land, which how could you not have a cursed land when Oscarville was flooded?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course it would be, I would assume it would be cursed just due to the whole, like we were talking about, the whole racial violence and that drove black residents away in 1912, which is even crazy because you gotta imagine like how haunted that had to have been at such an early stage and how tragic that was, because in the 50s when this was built, they started having like this connection. And so it's like, it's not proven, but I mean, how could you not? And so it's just like there's all these, they talk about like displaced residents that haunt the lake. So I wonder, they're probably like seeing ghosts like walk in the middle of the lake.
That'd be crazy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or walking across the road, or just standing around and then like just disappearing.
And souls like that are never at fully rest. Of course they wander.
Yeah. And there's so many things that are just like that, like so many different lands. And like we were talking about like Georgia just being haunted as it is. So we kind of, it's like even more so because of the racial violence, and then it's just like all of this stuff just adding on to it.
Oh no, like yeah, and when I first heard the story of Lake Lanier, my cousin told me that story.
Yeah.
Because I'm just some northern relative, never seen the South before. Like, of course they're gonna try and scare me, but no, it held truth, and I'm like, y'all are crazy to even want to go as far as you want to go to scare me. Like, no. Even if I was a local, I'm like, I'm not taking you there. I'm like, fuck I look like? You can go yourself.
Yeah, no, thank you. I would prefer not to. No, especially because like it's just such a hard. No, thank you.
Oh yeah.
And I guess like isn't it like if you go there you get like cursed or something anyways if you go there just fucking around.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And then I'm not sure if you actually watched the TV show Atlanta, but they kind of tap into Lake Lanier too, and like all the ghost stories and stuff. Like that show alone is crazy, and like really like it. I described that TV show as like a black Twin Peaks. Because of how, yeah.
I haven't watched Atlanta, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's just some off-the-wall stuff that always happened in each episode, and you're just like, wait, what?
That's great. I've only watched a little bit of Twin Peaks, so
yeah.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. But, you know, and the reason why it feels so creepy, even without ghosts, the environment itself fuels the stories, and I'll tell you that is 100% accurate.
Yeah, yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Standing forests underwater, tree trunks everywhere, you know, and then the sunken buildings and roads, that. You couldn't pay me enough to...
That's just terrifying.
Yeah, you couldn't, because, like, yeah, you can try and get some divers down there to actually see, but, like, do you want to risk it?
No, and it just sounds like some like 13 Ghosts type of environment where you'd go and capture a ghost
type shit. Yeah. Yeah, not to mention, like the murky visibility down there. Like, how do you truly know what you're diving into, you know?
You could take 2 steps and there's a building that you're stepping on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, and the sudden depth changes, you know?
No thank you, no thank you, no thank you.
Oh, and the cherry on top, the occasional emerging ruins during the droughts.
Oh my god, so then it's like, you could even, because who knows what's being haunted if there's like residual or weird stuff at the bottom of the lake. And then there's a drought, so then you can like see stuff. And I'd only imagine if there's buildings, like you just see the ghosts walking around. Like what if it's residual and they're still at the same floor or level and there's no longer that part of the building there? They're just walking around in midair like, no thank you.
Whew. Shit kind of like, talking about this shit kind of like it's making my hair stand up on it. And it's just, but most historians and safety experts say the high accident number rates are mostly due to like heavy boat traffic. Millions visit yearly.
Wait a second. Why are you going on a boat? Why are you visiting? No wonder there's accidents, you dumb. You're so disrespectful. You're going to just boat around. You're probably boating through ghosts for all you know. You never know. Like, that's, of course. And I wonder how, and that's probably why America is so crazy. These people are going out there getting themselves cursed at Lake Lanier and then having generational curses carry on, and now it's just spread out through America.
That's how you do it. Like that Smile demon from fucking Smile. Like, did you see the second one?
No.
Like, it got to, like, a pop star and, like... Do you know the premise of that story?
I don't think so, because I don't even, like, now that you say that, I don't even think I saw number 1.
Oh. It's like a smile demon, like, and it goes basically through trauma in your life and stuff, like, so say the person that you saw unalive themselves in front of you had that smile demon, like, they will smile at you like a grinning smile, and then like they'll do it, and then they take that trauma and then pass it to you, and then they'll start haunting you and stuff until you eventually do it.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, because in another paranormal show that I have watched, they talk about this little girl in one of the episodes. I don't remember. When you said that, I was like, oh my god, now I remember. She had the creepiest smile. She was being possessed. And she had the creepiest smile, and her mom was like freaking out. I mean, obviously they got her exorcised, whatever, but I just was like, when you said that, it just made me think.
Yeah, and then like the second one, like a pop star had it, so like the smile demon got her to do it in front of like 50,000 people, and yeah.
Oh my god.
That kind of reminds me of the ending of Truth or Dare. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but
no.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
That's wild because, oh my god. Just the thought of like, let me just boat over buildings. You know how stupid it is. Like,
and then I'm gonna bring it home to my family.
Like,
and curse them.
Let's just be cursed for generations to come because. And you know what's...
And you better hope you believe in that kind of shit, because if you don't, you're gonna walk around through life like not wondering why you have this sort of fucked up luck.
And I can only imagine the white people that go there. It's just compounded on that. Like, it's just thinking like, oh, all the racial violence, and now you're just taking your boats.
You know what? Like, that kind of reminds me... Oh, my gosh. I wonder if my ex-husband has... Like, because, no... Like, they talk about, like, oh, we have a family curse. And, like, what do you mean,
surprise me, bro.
I wonder what ancestor went to, like, probably one of those, like, cursed places, like... Yeah, you survived, but at what cost? We're gonna curse your whole family. Like,
yeah, no, it's just...
Oh my god. Anyways, enough joshing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and like we said, like the hidden underwater obstacles and stuff like that, the depth perception change and alcohol-related boating accident. That's another thing. Like, why are you?
You know you're drinking if you're on a boat. Like, I've not seen anybody go on a boat and not drink.
Turn on the yacht rock and some wine, like shit. That Steve Winwood, just
I'm
like.
I'm not a fan of boats.
I don't mind boats.
You know, the open
it depends. It depends on what. Like, if we're out like, and on the Atlantic Ocean on the fucking Titanic or some bullshit like liners. That's the liner boats. Like when you go on the cruise and shit like that. That's the boats. I'm like.
You know, I just don't... You know, a lot of boating accidents. And it's just so crazy because when I lived in the city with my ex-husband, where there was all those boats, we'd hear about boating accidents and stuff all the time. And I'm like, oh... Because there was all those lakes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. Like, how can it just be... Why are you getting drunk on that?
Yeah, no, because... It's so easy.
Yeah,
it's so easy.
Because it doesn't even matter if you're the one driving the boat. I feel like, because if there's other boaters out there, you gotta know they're drinking. No one's being safe.
Right. Just because, like, what do you think? It's like international waters. Like, you're not gonna get busted. Like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah. That's pretty much it. Like,
yeah, no, I know another short episode again today.
Yeah,
that's all right. I mean, we just want to give you guys about what we can afford.
Yeah,
what we can spend to record some episodes, and we just want to make sure that they're pretty good. To get you some information.
Yeah, but the next episode though is I'm really excited about this because we're gonna kind of jump back into like the witchy stuff, and next month, as you know, is April, and it's one of my favorite quote unquote holidays, 420.
Yes. It is the time of the... I mean, not that we don't celebrate anyways, but it's a good time of the year. I do appreciate it, especially...
I will never forget 420 of 2010.
That was such a 16 years ago.
I will never forget that. We were supposed to forget it on how much weed we consumed.
We'll save that for that episode, but that is such a... Thinking about that, obviously, as you can see, makes me have the biggest smile on my
Me
face.
too.
Such a fond memory.
And like, we should have barely remembered that, but we remember that clear as day.
There's a...
that that clear and hazy day all at once.
There was a part that I don't remember, but that's.
Oh my god!
Such a good time.
You said that as I'm taking a sip of water.
But until next time.
I am Cordelia.
And I'm Minerva Crowhurst. And we're Over the Cauldron Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on everything.
Yes. Shameless plug time. Later, guys.
Bye.